The other aspect that we met about today was about the economic impact that this will have on us. As you can imagine, the prices of oil have already taken a adjustment upwards. It went all the way up to 82 pesos. I'm sorry, $82 initial shock. Pero they closed out at 76.50. So nag-adjust na pababa. So that is expected. First of all, let me assure everyone that we have sufficient supply of oil. Meron tayong stockpile that are approximately 50 to 60 days in terms of gasoline, in terms of fuel oil, and in terms of kerosene. So that is let me immediately allay the fears of everyone that our supply of oil-derived product, oil products, oil-derived product, even fertilizer is something that we had to look at, and we have sufficient supply. Let me look at the precise numbers. For our stockpiles are diesel, we have 50.5 days. Fuel oil is 51.5 days. Gasoline is 51.5 days. Kerosene, we have 67.5 days. Jet fuel, A1 jet fuel is 58 days. LPG is 29 days. So we are okay for that period of time. Ngayon, to further provide the supplies of these oil products, ay yung ating mga pinagkukuhanan ng ating mga iba't ibang oil products ay meron din silang stockpile. So, hindi lalabas, hindi pa nila ina-export. So that is another potential supply for us. However, we must be very clear that if you are a country that is holding a stockpile of oil products, you will export as little of it as possible so that you keep your own stockpile high while this crisis is going on, while we do not know what is going to happen. However, beyond that, of course, there will be a great effect on the oil prices that we are facing here. We have already seen the reaction on oil products, sa crudo, sa gasolina, sa LPG, at naramdaman na kaagad, and that's again expected. So we have put together some scenarios. We cannot know. We have heard many estimates kung gaano katagal ito. Ang naririnig natin coming out of the United States is 4 to 5 weeks. Hopefully, it will be less. And hopefully, before the 4 to 5 weeks, the level of intensity of the fighting will come down. In other words, the commerce will proceed in a more or less normal way, number one. And secondly, that the oil production will start to normalize. And hopefully, of course, this is our hope, sooner rather than later, that this will happen. However, in the scenario that Dubai crude it comes between between $80 and $90 per barrel, and this lasts for 2 months, we have identified, and assuming that Iran exports continue, although I don't think that is a fair assumption anymore, because that's going to be the first place that people will the attacks will occur. So the response of the government, some of the interventions that we are thinking about, is to have targeted fuel subsidies to the affected area, to the affected sectors, such as the transport sector, the agri-sector. The agri-sector comes into play because fertilizer is a petroleum derivative that comes from the oil, and for fisher folk. As soon as oil prices breach $80 per barrel, meron na tayong gagawin, and we will use several of the funds. We will use the funds. For example, we will use the Pantawid Pasada program and the subsidy for farmers and fisher folk. We are also trying to look at the possibility of easing the transport cost burden to the to workers, for the traveling public, providing maybe no fare bus rides along major routes, and maybe to hold fares down on the transport, our public transport facilities. And of course, we are now going to look for whatever subsidies we will need to provide, so that hindi naman masyadong maramdaman ng working public ang pangyayaring ito. There is also a proposal that we will examine further. I am going to talk to the leaders in both the House and in the Senate to maybe, this is not yet a sure thing, but this is something that we are discussing, and it could be helpful, is to give me, the President, the authority to reduce excise tax on petroleum products should Dubai crude exceed $80 per barrel. And that wala pa tayo doon. But if in case that happens, then maybe this is something that we will have to, this is one tool that we will have to have. So I will discuss it with the leadership of Congress, and to see, it is going to be an emergency measure. It is not going to be a permanent measure. It will be something that we will dispose of as soon as the crisis is over. And there has been a coordination between the Department of Energy and the oil companies that whatever price increases they are going to institute, that they be done in a staggered manner. Wag bigla, para hindi naman biglang tataas ang presyo ng petroleum products ng langis. Ito ay yung mga produkto na ginagamit ng taong bayan ay dahan-dahan lang paaakyatin. And that will hopefully become a little bit less less of a problem to the working public. The other area that we looked into are what will be the effect on the remittances, because this is something that will affect the families of those that are remitting funds from our workers in this part of the world. Karamihan ng remittances natin ay talaga diyan galing. Yan ang pinakamalaking working group natin na nandun. Hindi nila kasama ang pamilya nila kung hindi nagre-remit ng pera dito sa Pilipinas. It's a bit of a mixed bag in the sense that the remittances, again, it's very, very hard to make an estimate. Right now, most of these places, I would estimate, Sec Hans, would you estimate how many of the workers that are in the Gulf countries are presently working normally? Just a rough estimate.
I would say a substantial number, maybe around 80-85%, Mr. President.
That's what I'm getting. More or less 80 to 85%. Sinasabi nila, ang report nila sa amin, nagtatrabaho pa rin sila, na pumapasok pa rin sila. Kung hindi sila makapasok, meron silang mga work from home. So yun ang yun ang naging effect doon sa workforce natin sa iba't ibang lugar. The other effect of the other statistic which will have an effect on remittances is going to be the exchange rate. between the dollar and the peso. So we will just have to watch that very, very closely and to see what the effects are. That's why tawag ko mixed bag eh. Halo-halo talaga. May aakyat, may bababa. Kasi kung umakyat ang peso, lumalaki ang remittance. Pero kung bababa naman, ang actual na dolyar na pinapadala dito, di bababa. We don't know where that balance is going to end as of now. So we are watching it very closely. And well, for those who are interested, there is some sensitivity analysis that we have done what the effect is per $1 of per barrel cost will be, and what the effects will be on inflation, what the effects with the debt is here. Sec Arce has provided us with some numbers, but these are very rough estimates on how it will affect the economy. So right now, again, the problem that we have is that it is a very fluid situation. Now it's a very volatile situation. The information that we are receiving is limited, as you can imagine, as it is a war zone right now. And so we have prioritized, of course, the safety of our people who are in the war zone. Number one, that's always the number one priority. And secondly, after that, what the effects will be to the working public here in the Philippines, and what are the interventions that the government can take up, which I have laid out for you in a general sense. So we will have more I think each of the departments will, as we find out more, which of the departments are going, all the departments will be able to give you a more detailed, analysis of what we have. But again, please understand that itong mga numero na sinasabi natin ay hindi pa tayo nakakatiyak dahil hindi natin nalalaman kung gaano katagal pa na mangyayari ito, gaano katagal pa bago babalik, gaano katagal pa yung presyo ng langis ay wala tayong control, as you well know, paano ang galaw niyan, saan pupunta yan. Ay kasama na rin dyan kung anong level ng dolyar. Yung peso naman di gumagalaw as of now, pero ang dolyar ang tinitignan din natin because they are all our remittances are being sent to the Philippines in dollars. Okay, so that's the general gist of it. I will take a few questions and then I will leave it to the department secretaries to to give you whatever more detailed information that they can. Again, please understand that we cannot give you detailed information, very detailed information, not because we do not want to, but because we do not have it. And we cannot, hindi natin, ayaw namin manghula o mag-speculate, tapos mag-react ng mga tao, may gagawin, nasasabihin, it is worse than we thought, it is better than we thought. Mahirap magbigay ng mga speculative na especially the numbers. So siguro wag na muna natin pag-usapan yung mga numero at kung gaano katagal ito. But we have, again, we are planning. So meron tayong best case scenario, meron tayong worst case scenario. Nakaplano tayo paano natin tulungan ang ating mga kababayan na nasa abroad, lalo na sa mga Gulf countries. Paano sila maging ligtas, maging safe, paano sila mailabas kapag may pagkakataon na, at kung ano yung epekto dito sa ekonomiya natin, at kung alin ng mga sektor ang tatamaan, at kung anong maaring gawin ng pamahalaan para tulungan sila na hindi masyadong maramdaman itong mga pagbabago sa presyo ng langis at sa pag-adjust ng presyo ng langis up or down. Hopefully, it will come down to back the normal levels that we had previous to this war.